Hello again, and welcome to Granny Dorothy Visits. Today, the reading I want to say to you today from Everyday Wisdom is, because I think it's really appropriate for now. Some of the most despicable human behavior has been conducted in the name of, I'm only following the law, or I'm just doing my job. I think that's appropriate for nowadays, don't you think? And today I'm just going to read one reading from one book, Life is Messy, Matthew Kelly, because it's about 4.5 pages, and I think that this is quite appropriate too. The book was written, I don't know, a few years ago, but it seems to be appropriate for now. It's called The Great Rehumanization. The future of humanity depends on a great movement of rehumanization. This is a vast claim, but I believe it to be true, and I don't make it lightly. What is rehumanization? Rehumanization is an effort to reverse the effects of dehumanization by restoring human dignity, helping each and every person develop a healthy sense of self, and reprioritizing people above money, objects, systems, and institutions. Rehumanization is about learning to be human again, which may sound strange, but it's amazing how often and in how many ways the average person experiences dehumanization. Dehumanization takes many forms. Some things are dehumanizing by their very nature. For example, violence, slavery, abuse, injustice, torture, poverty, sexual abuse, discrimination, gossip, objectification, and genocide. There are many other things that can be dehumanizing, such as work, technology, debt, humor, laws, entertainment, social media, and even education or consensual sex. Anytime the value and individuality of a person are being denied, that person is being dehumanized. And the more someone has been dehumanized, the more that person will operate out of the primal tendencies of fight or flight. The process of rehumanization reminds us what it means to be an individual of worth. It rekindles a healthy sense of personal identity and helps us rediscover our humanity. Rehumanization is about learning to see ourselves and others as human again. It may sound ridiculous, but you would be amazed at how many ways we have been conditioned not to see ourselves as human beings. One of the most blatant and common examples is our inability to express our needs. To be human is to need, and yet we have been conditioned to believe that it is not all right to need certain things. In order to see and value the humanity of another person, we have to be able to see and value our own humanity. Learning to accept that we are wounded and broken is essential to the process of rehumanization. Discovering your own brokenness and realizing that you can be put back together again and healed to become more beautiful and more lovable than ever before is the summit of rehumanization. Human beings with a healthy sense of self, when their basic needs are met and their survival is not threatened, want good things for other people. Anyone who wishes another person unhappiness or harm, anyone who doesn't desire good for others, is in a dehumanized condition. Emotionally healthy human beings desire good for each other. At our best, We are kind, well-meaning, generous, compassionate, benevolent, thoughtful, sensitive, tender, warm-hearted, and empathetic. Empathy is a leading indicator of human flourishing, while lack of empathy is a sign that a person is in a dehumanized state. Empathy is the natural condition for a human being who is mentally, emotionally, and spiritually healthy. This is what it means to be humane. It is time to turn our efforts toward the great rehumanization of the human family. It's time to focus on things that support humanization. It's time to celebrate those things that bring out the best in people. To accomplish this, a great shift in our culture is necessary. Our focus on money dehumanizes our relationships by making them transactional. Our focus on things leads us to dehumanize each other by objectifying people. Our focus on appearance dehumanizes our relationships by making them disingenuous. It's time to move beyond a money-oriented way of life, beyond an object-oriented way of life, beyond an appearance-oriented lifestyle, and create a people-oriented society. Is there any more urgent task before society today? Which of our problems would not be solved by seeing ourselves and others as human beings again, and treating ourselves and others as human beings of infinite individual value? Let's put our efforts toward rehumanization. While we are wasting endless hours on social media, or whatever our preferred way of wasting time is, the great suffering in the world goes unaddressed. I think about my own collaboration with evil. I think about the many times I have hurt other people throughout my life, sometimes intentionally, but mostly out of self-absorption and lack of awareness. I think about the ways I have dehumanized others. Two things haunt me when I reflect on these things: the hurt I have caused and the good I could have been doing if I hadn't been so busy being stupid and selfish. The subtlest evil of all is the opposite of love. It is diabolical and insidious. It isn't hatred. There is nothing subtle about hatred. The opposite of love is indifference. It is the Pied Piper that leads millions into despair. But indifference is not a force unto itself in this universe. It can only be expressed by one person to another person, from one group of people to another group of people. Indifference cannot survive in this world outside the human heart. So let us banish it from our hearts. We have all been indifferent toward the dehumanization of other people, perhaps because we have been dehumanized ourselves. Now it is the time to embrace our own rehumanization and champion the rehumanization of every man, woman, and child. I think that that's really on the mark for today, because what we've all gone through these last few years has been very hard on everybody. And I believe that there's something so simple that we can do about it. And that's just being kind and caring to others. And all you have to do is smile at someone, and that will lift their spirits, and that will go a long way towards rehumanizing, because it's human for us to smile and share a smile with everyone. So I send you my love again, and I hope that you have a fabulous day. Mwah! Till next week.